Hey everyone, it's your Survivor buddy Gordon Holmes here with your exit press for Survivor 47, Episode 6, talking to Rome, if you want to, and I do in just a moment. Before we get into that, a couple of quick orders of business. My episode recaps available on gordonholmes.substack.com. Immediately following each episode, you can see a full breakdown of everything that happened, as well as individual letter grades for each one of the players. If you want to help this channel out, that's a great way to do it, is to become a paid subscriber there. Also, if you want to help us out, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Gets us in front of more people that see us, the more stuff we can do. If you enjoy what we do here and want to see more of it, that's a great way to do it. And with that out of the way, let's see what Rome has to say about last night's heartbreaking blindside.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was gluing my kid's water bottle back together. I got super glue on my hand. I got this new haircut. I don't know how I feel about it. And then last night, I had to watch Rome. Is that good? Is that good? Is that the tissue helps, right?
Yeah. Good crocodile tears, man. Good crocodile tears.
Okay. How are you doing?
Doing all right, doing as good as you can after a night like that,
Ooh, that was sometimes the editors are just feeling it. You can just they're like usually there's like, who could it be? And this one it's like, oh Rome.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting send-off for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. In hindsight, you were pretty confident that it was going to be Saul. In hindsight, was there something that you should have picked up on at camp, or did they everybody had you going?
No, I knew at camp that it was either going to be Saul or me, just because I was the only one that threw out Saul's name, and there was no other name being floated around. So anytime that happens, you know that it's either you or the person that you're actually throwing out. That's why I was going around to so many people like, "It's Saul, right? It's Saul, right?" Like you saw me like even with Sierra, I was like, "So you know what the plan is tonight, right?" And she was like, "Saul," and I was like, "Yep, cool." So I was just making sure, like without me saying it, everyone else knew the plan. I was like, "Okay." If everyone's saying it, it's truly only me or Saul. So I was like 75% sure that it was Saul, 25% sure that it was me, because listen, if it's not the person that you're throwing the name out, it's going to be you that night. So
Yeah.
I was like, either everyone's in cahoots against me or everyone's actually down for an easy vote against Saul. But either way, nobody is like, everyone is being super cagey. So I knew it was either me or Saul that night. So I know a lot of people are calling it a blindside, but you can even see by my reaction. My reaction wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's me tonight. It was, why did y'all pick me tonight? Like, it was very confused. Like, it was mainly like, Sam, Tiana, Sue, Caroline, I literally came to you guys and told you that somebody wanted you out, and now y'all voting me out. Like, it's like usually when someone brings you information that someone wants you out, you're like, oh, let me keep you around, because if you'll tell me once, you'll tell me again. But it just wasn't the case, unfortunately.
Well, A, you took it like a champ, which is I always respect. B, when you're giving your testimonials, was there anything to be like, maybe, but because your testimonials are like super safe, this guy, I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, I mean, it worked up to that point, so why stop at that point? I was at the end of the day, I was having fun out there, man. And like everyone in the game, I feel like, unless you are truly like at the bottom, completely left side outside of a vote, everyone feels like they're playing a good game because they're still in the game. So like, I'm sure that everyone could have sound bites of them talking about how good of a game they're playing or things like that. It's just about which ones that are chosen to be used and things like that. So I think that everyone's confident in their game. It's just portrayed in different ways. So yeah.
I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and there's a famous Philadelphia relief pitcher named Mitch Williams who said, "I pitch like my hair is on fire." I get that from Tony Velachos, and I get that from you, which is actually very high praise. Was there ever like I think I would be like a lay back and let things happen kind of guy, but you were just out there constantly swinging. If you had a chance to do it again, do you think that worked out for you? Like, is there what would you switched up? Because you are somebody I hope to see again. And I don't say that to everybody. So, like,
I appreciate that. I
if you get
appreciate
that call
that.
for a 50, how do you handle it differently? Or do you handle it differently?
Well, this is the thing is like people know at this point that I'm super loyal. Like that would never change. Like, because I think the easiest way to play Survivor is to get the people you're loyal with and never turn on them. I do not understand in Survivor why people turn on their alliance, especially when their alliance is so ride or die for them. So honestly, when it comes to like the pre-merge, it might seem crazy, but I wouldn't play any differently in the pre-merge. Like in the pre-merge, I played hard for my alliance. I played super unrelenting, and at the end of the day, that's what you want in an alliance member, is somebody that's gonna ride or die for you no matter what. And that's exactly who I was. And so I think if I ever did get the chance to play again, I think people on a returnee season might appreciate that a little bit more than a full newbie season. I think people appreciate loyalty on returnee seasons more than anything. So I think that honestly, just being loyal again to the people that I'm loyal with, and I guess when I hit the merge is to kind of reevaluate who I'm gonna be want to work with. Just because like I thought that I was gonna want to work with all the meat shields and things like that, and that's why I went and told Sam and Tiana all the information that Kyle told me about him wanting them out the game. I thought that was gonna make them want to be like, okay, let's work with Rum. Let's keep him in the game, because I was like, there's not a lot of meat shields left that are also social and physical threats in my opinion. So I was like, we got to keep us together. So that's why I was trying to look out for them and let them know what was happening. And then Kyle went to them, and Kyle he said some things that swayed them in his direction, and they never came back and fact checked it with me because of the way that Kyle said it. So yeah, it was pretty interesting.
It felt like you went a little bit heel there with Saul when you approached him about playing his or taking his shot in the dark. Watching that back, did that seem too aggressive, or is that something you stick by?
No, it wasn't aggressive at all. Like people that are calling it aggressive, like don't know what actually happened. So like, first of all, it was like an hour, like 45 minutes until tribal council. That's when I showed Saul my steal a vote, right? So if you look at the outfit that I'm wearing, I'm in my hoodie with my challenge pants draped over my arm, right? When I read Saul the steal a vote and things like that. After that moment is when Saul tells me, I'm not going to give you my steal a vote. I'm going to go look for the idol. We're literally like 45 minutes until tribal council. So I'm like, okay, like let's go. Like I'm going to follow you. Like it's only 45 minutes. We literally are getting ready to go and leave tribal council. Like we have to make sure that you don't find an idol. So it was like, you know what? I'm just going to make sure that you don't find an idol. I'm going to follow you around. So I followed him for like 5 minutes. Like once he realized that I wasn't going to leave his side, he didn't really look. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you realize someone's right there, then you're going to stop looking. So like it was only like a few minutes. And then literally like 2 minutes later, I realized I was like, that was a lot. Like that was a whole lot. Like I didn't really need to go that gung ho. Like we're literally getting ready to leave for tribal. It's going to be Saul anyway. Let me go apologize to him, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, Genevieve provoked him to go. No, that was just me realizing, okay, that was a little bit over the top. Let me go apologize to you. And obviously they showed 8 seconds of a 2 minute apology, but it was an actual apology to Saul. He did take it with, he took it for what it is because he understood that I'm playing hard and that I'm just going hard for my alliance. And then 5 minutes later, me, him, and Genevieve had a conversation to get out Keyshawn because he wanted to turn on me. Saul realized we had the numbers, and then we left for tribal. So yeah.
Now, Genevieve, it seemed like you're number one at one point. Obviously, she ended up voting against you. What was the relationship like with her? Because it seemed like she was having some doubts. But once you hit the merge, what was the relationship like with her?
Pretty much what it was like was it was almost like nothing changed. Like we both trusted each other, but we all both were like weary of each other at this point. Mainly, I was weary of her because of how the Keyshawn vote went and how it turned around on a dime. It was almost me, and I was super loyal to the people I was loyal with. So that like brought up my red flags to the people that I'm still loyal with. So obviously, like there was still like a little bit of uneasiness there. And Genevieve, I feel like I could feel that uneasiness with me. That like I didn't know if she could if I could fully trust her, and kind of vice versa. We both wanted to trust each other, but it wasn't a situation where like, okay, there's 12 people that aren't immune. I'm going to stick my neck out and say, no, don't let it be Rome. And then it ends up being me tonight. So because of the situation with 12 people not being immune, I totally understand. But in a situation where the half that would have won the challenge would have been immune, I have no doubt in my mind that she would have let me know that it would have been me, because would have been no way that it would have came back to bite her on that vote. And that's kind of why Jeff, even on his On Fire podcast last night, said that like he's not a fan of when this many people are immune because it creates landslide votes where people don't play the game. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. So yeah.
Say things go your way last night. You had voted for Sam as a way to rile things up. What would your play have been when you got back to camp? Saul's gone home and Sam got this mystery vote.
Act like I didn't vote for him. Simple as that. Like, I want to see what Sam's
going
to do.
Who would you try to play it on? Or not at all?
I wouldn't try to play it on anyone because I didn't vote. I don't know which one of the 11 people voted for you, Sam. It wasn't me. So that's really all that I was going to do, is like just kind of put it out there, because when I hit the merge, I was looking around and I was like, okay, this dude Sam is instantly making connections with people that he has never hung out with in his life. Like he's sitting here talking about movie references with people. He's talking to me about we should do a rap battle, things like that. Like me and Sam had so many conversations. Yeah, exactly. I know, right?
I was so mad. I was so that's like this. I was like, A, I like watching you play Survivor. B, no rap battle.
Yeah, no rap battle. But yeah, we talked about everything. Like he was able to relate with everyone. So I was like, this dude is way too comfortable. Like he's got everyone around his finger. Like he's sitting here talking with everyone. Like anytime he's having a conversation, he's leaned in talking like, oh yeah, I love that movie. Oh yeah, of course. It's all I'm just reading. So I'm like, I'm clocking you, Sam. You're too comfortable in this game. So that's why I wrote down his name. In my voting confessional, it's not shown, but I said, Sam, you are way too comfortable in this game, and I want to see you shaking your boots when you go back to camp. That's what I said. So yeah.
How am I supposed to trust any dude who has never had pineapple?
I know, that's wild. That's wild. I don't know
pineapple is so damn good. There are a few perfect things in this world, Rome. I think pineapple's one of them. We do a word association here to get to know your tribe mates a little bit better. I'll give you someone's name, give you the first word or a couple words that pop into your head.
All right, I wrote them all down for you, so let's do this. I got not just my tribe. I hung out with everybody. You got to remember that. I met everybody at Ponderosa. I met everybody at the merge. I met everybody on my tribe. So We can go down to everybody if you want.
That is cheating. Do you just want to read them off, and I'll just sit here
Let's
and
do it. All right.
do
So
it?
Sierra, I got Vibrant. For Tiana, I got Driven. For Annika, I have Leader. For Keyshawn, I have Delightful. For Asia, I have Sullen. For TK, I have Lovable. For John, I have Hilarious. For Rachel, I have Down to Earth. For Sam, I have Wolf in Wolf's Clothing. For Sue, I have Passionate. For Teeny, I have Chameleon. For Genevieve, I have Ice Queen. For Andy, I have Wild Card. For Kyle, I have Crafty. For Gabe, I have Mysterious. For Caroline, I have Organized. And for Saul, I've got Big Brother.
Man, I'll see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, man.
I know you're trying to take Jeff Probst's job, right? Leave mine alone, buddy. Like,
who knows? Rome has a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, what? You will be the first survivor to ever have a podcast, so you should 100% do that.
Right.
There's a amazing secret scene that I had made the air because it showed a different side of you. Talking about Aquamamba. You were being a provider for your tribe and what that meant for you. Also, interestingly enough, talking about your siblings and how successful they are. I'd love to know what their take on your time out there was. Hopefully they appreciate it and have been very supportive.
Yeah, I mean they're super proud of everything that I did. It's pretty surreal because like my grandma, she was on America's Got Talent and things like that. She was a finalist on that, the very first season ever of America's Got Talent. So, me, like our family coming from like, we've been around Hollywood and like been around like being on TV and things like that. It was cool that like, people saw so much of my grandma in me. And then I was able to go on TV as well and be an entertainer the same way that my grandma was. And so it's just like nice that like all my siblings are letting me know that like, my grandma's super proud of like looking down on me and, being able to provide so much entertainment and playing so hard and being able to play a game that I love. And, at the end of the day, I didn't know what Survivor was 18 months ago. So, I went out there and I had a bunch of fun. I played super hard and I got zero regrets for how I played the game.
My family set the bar so low that anything I do. Actually, my aunt was on the Joker's Wild. You might not know that show because you're a youngin', but that's the extent. That's as well as the Holmeses have done. So you've got people like me who watch this from their couch, and Survivor is super easy on your couch. And I've been saying things like Rome is an amazing character. He hasn't shown he's an amazing player yet, but he's got time and he can get there. Did you appreciate that when you were out there? Like I said, I want you back. Is that something you take into hopefully a 50 if that's in the cards? Again, what's the takeaway from all this for you?
You're saying like if I were to play again, pretty much what do I do differently? Is that what you're saying?
I guess we kind of already touched on that before, so maybe we should move on to something else.
Yeah,
You got about time for one more. You got.
Well, can I talk about one thing? Can I talk about why I celebrated TK being gone? Because so many people were like, "Why did you do that?"
You saved us so much time with the word association. By all means, and you're the host of the show anyway, so go for it.
So what happened with the TK situation during the second immunity challenge? It was Sue and Asia that were on the sit-out bench, right? And so while you're on the sit-out bench, people talk, right? It's what people do. So Sue and Asia had a conversation, and pretty much Sue told Asia how she was feeling about TK. This is before they went to tribal and before they knew they lost. Sue was airing it out to Asia how she felt about TK. So when we went back after winning, Asia told all of us what happened. This didn't make the cut. She said, Sue said that TK, and I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget it. Sue said that TK didn't look at her like she was a person. Sue said that TK made her feel like she was uncomfortable in the game. Sue said that she never tried to talk with her strategy or tried to talk to her at all. And also, Sue said that TK said that she was useless in challenges. So when Asia relayed all that stuff back to all of Lavo, everyone on Lavo was like, oh, that's so wrong. You shouldn't be that type of a person. Like, that's wrong to treat people like that and things like that, right? So when I heard the next day that TK ended up getting voted out, I was like, yes, I couldn't stand that dude's ego based off what I heard through a third party. Once I met the dude at Ponderosa, there's no way that's true. TK is one of the most likable people I've ever met in my life, and I'm so sorry and so sad that it got portrayed that way because that is not who TK is as a person at all. He is truly one of the most likable individuals I've ever met. So I just think that was a misjustification of showing me celebrate without showing me why I celebrated. Like it made no sense to show why I celebrated without showing the context behind it. So I just think that was important to share as well. So
yeah, I appreciate the clarity on that. I also like to think that you just have like a list of like stuff you want to touch upon written on the side.
I do 100%. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're out of time, Rome. Like I said, I don't want to say you're the guy. Like I want you back. I'll pull some strings. I got a lot of pull. I don't.
All right. Thank you.
But Rome, you were a rock star, and I really enjoyed your time watching you. So thank you so much for your time, man.
Oh yeah. Thank you, man. Great interview. I appreciate it, man.